to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Meeting to order here, roll call. Commissioner Fawcett's online, Commissioner Ward, Commissioner Buble, Commissioner Kaiser, and myself are all present. Additions to the agenda, we will be removing resolution 225-25 off of the new business. It can go. Oh no, that's okay. We can move forward here with the consent agenda. Consent agenda A, approval of minutes, June 25, 2025, Commissioner work session, July 9. Motion?
Move to approve the minutes of June 25th, 25, work session of July 9th, 2025, and the commission meeting, special meeting, July 21st, 2025.
Just pointed out we can approve all of it if we would like. If there's any conflict there, please let us know. But B, C, D, and E as well. Do we have a motion for approval on all that?
I would first declare that I'm a principal owner of Clatskin Builder Supply. I did not see a check in there, but sometimes I miss them. But then I would make a motion to approve the entire consent agenda.
Okay. Excellent.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Comments from the public? Oh, that's what that was for. Excellent. Okay, we'll start out with, can't really read the name here, but Steve is the first on it.
Surugi.
That's you? Or come on up, have a seat.
Morning.
Good morning. Oh, yeah.
Okay, here to make a presentation. We're looking for some assistance on funds to improve building, one of the buildings that we're currently in. It's building E. We reside at the Multnomah Industrial Park in building E. And what's driving that is a requirement from our top two customers to go from existing AS9100 certified level, and now their customers are driving our customers for their suppliers of their composite manufacturing parts to become a NADCAP qualified accredited supplier. So with that comes some infrastructure items to not only the buildings, but to administration, to processes and controls and additional admin people, et cetera, et cetera. But if we do not do this, we're in jeopardy of losing our top two customers. And our business over the last 3 to 4 years has been transitioning from an R&D tooling company with one off and two offs, driving towards a serial production company so that we can really grow the company long-term and become more and more stable in the community. So our top two customers, if we don't gain this accreditation, say by the end of May, June, I think is the deadline of next year, we're in jeopardy of losing those customers. So, and that would put a pretty big dent into our goals and our revenue in total. Might even put us in a position where we can't meet all our fixed costs. So it's a pretty big deal. And you might ask, where did this all of a sudden come from? It's just kind of like years ago, our customer base asked us to get ISO and AS9100 certified in X amount of time. So we were obligated to do that to continue business with them. So that's where that drive, that requirement came from. It just, sometimes it pops up there, and it's composite suppliers being NADCAP, it's starting and then trending in that direction. I'd say about 20% of the suppliers out there right now are NADCAP. So.
Our NADCAP.
NADCAP, NADCAP.
And that stands for?
Just Google it. I don't remember it off the top of my head.
What does it represent?
It represents a certain level of quality of that composite supplier that it basically improves your processes and protocols and your paperwork and your documentation. It puts in procedures for processes and infrastructure to your facilities. So what it represents is a higher quality to all the parts that you're in components that you're making for those customers. So one of the driving customers behind it is like Airbus. There's another looming contract that we're able to attain in addition to not losing the other components from our top two customers in addition. So there's multiple reasons to go forward with this. So we're moving 100 miles an hour forward. We already started infrastructure on in building B already. We had put a clean room, a class 9 clean room for bonding only, because we were doing bonding in an area where you were doing body work and assembly, but now in the bonding room, we had to create a class 9, which is the lowest level of NADCAP accreditation clean room, but we had to create that. And basically what we're needing to do is take building E rather, into a class 9 CCA clean room. So we're needing to needs to have positive pressure, needs to have a certain temperature control, humidity control, but most of all, positive pressure to the building. And the reason for those funds is we already had an allocation for funds from our bank for CapEx for this year. That's been spent on another oven to handle the increase of production oncoming. So our CapEx is already spent and allocated. That oven should be installed in the October, November timeframe of this year. So that's the reasoning behind the request. And what the funds would pay for is the increased havoc, the increased air handling system, and the improvement for the electrical panel itself to handle the additional amperage load on the units that are needing to go in. Because we're at pretty close to, with the addition of the oven forthcoming in October, we're going to be pretty close to maximizing out the existing 600 amp master panel in the building.
Nancy, that stands for National Aerospace and Defense Contractors Accreditation Program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
They need a better acronym.
So, how do you see tariffs affecting your business moving forward?
Well, tariffs was more of an issue the first 6 months of this year, a little bit in Q3, but they're starting to subside. Basically, people are starting to spend their discretionary dollars on products now. So we see most of our production customers are now starting to ramp up, and the sales I just had my banker in the other day. He's starting to see the same thing. I think people are trending upwards the last half of this year and into 2026, and we're matching that. And another thought is as well, currently CUG is at 68 to 70 FTEs currently. And with this NADCAP accreditation, along with not losing the top two customers, we really feel that we can go from the 68 to 70 closer to 80 plus just in 2026. So we've been looking at adding another 10 to 12 jobs just in the next 5 quarters. Right. And with the potential in 2027 and 28 to continue that trend.
So do you have estimates as to what the cost would be for the port and for your part?
Currently, I'm in negotiations with Bill over at Columbia Northwest Heating. And the next step, he's contacted Toshiba and Train, and he's working with those engineers. He might have to reach out to the original engineer on the facility, which was, I think his last name was Keys. He's out of Tiger. He's the one that originally engineered the facility for the port. For the havoc and air systems in that facility. So we might have to reach out to him here next week and get additional assistance, and might have to do a walkthrough so I can show him exactly what needs to be done. We're doing a lot of the other infrastructure, sealing up the building, putting where we've got curtains in the building, putting in a solid wall with a positive pressure garage door, other things that we're needing to do the facility. We're already going to get started.
Excellent. Robert, any questions before he finishes up?
I'll just be curious in the amount too. I mean, like, I don't want to pin you down because you don't know.
What's that?
The amount always makes me curious, but you'll have to get your numbers in first to see.
Oh, yeah, we're estimating, let's just estimate, if I had to throw a dart at it, because there's plenty of buildings over the years, right? I'd probably say another 15 ton of AC along with a standalone air handler to put more CFMs of air. So you can, because you got to recirculate so many CFMs every hour. Along with an upgrade from the 600 amp master electrical panel to the 800 amp, I'm guessing right around 50 grand. That's an estimate ballpark.
Great. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
And are you looking for a loan or are you looking for an investment?
Well, what I'm looking for is there's a 11-year remaining on the lease, give or take. And what I'd like to propose that we take that 50,000, put that into revise the lease, and I basically pay that back in full over the duration of the remaining lease.
Okay. We'll definitely,
Yeah.
we'll definitely take into consideration. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Yeah, no, thank you. Things are going well. We're definitely trending upwards. We're sitting at 9 to 10 million right now in sales. And the goal is to hit 15 to 18 in the next 5 or 6, 7 years. So, which will just naturally grow the FTEs over there in that Baltimore park.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Steve. We really appreciate it.
Yes.
So thank you for consideration and your time here today.
Certainly.
Yeah,
All right.
All right.
thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Okay, Mitch.
He's with me.
Oh, okay. Cody James,
Thank you, guys.
thank you.
Howdy, and thanks for the time today. I wanted to share an update on,
Could you state your name, please?
yeah, Cody James Pace. I am the owner of soon-to-be Paddle Shack. So I've been working with Deke and Brian from Next Adventure to save the resource in our community. So I was able to meet with Nick and Sean and Chip last month, and it's been a whirlwind of trying to get everything set up in time. So since I left my career of 24 years in the pest management industry, and we are doing everything we can to make sure that we can assume operation September 1st. So right now, it's been a bit of a whirlwind. We definitely can take over operations and assume on September 1st. We're still waiting to get our insurance policy and then financing for the kayak fleet and the boathouse. So definitely have enough operating capital to make it through the winter because it makes no money until April. That's a huge, huge lift. We can do that. I'm dedicated to spend the rest of my adult life there. It's my dream and it's what I want to do. And I think it's such an important resource to the county and to the whole area. And so we really don't want to see that lost. So we are working diligently to try to get financing. It's a bit challenging with it not being, we haven't been in business for 2 years, or they did not run their businesses as separate ones. And so for them to be able to pull out tax returns for us to get an acquisition loan, it's not possible. So we're exploring other forms of financing right now, but we could go in to that location and take that lease over, but not being able to have rentals would really be a big impact on the area. So that's, I just want to give an update of what we're working on, but really right now we're at the final stages of looking at financing. So just wanted to share with everyone that, we are working at it and I'm giving it my all. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I heard you say we, so.
My wife and I,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
And are you kayakers yourself?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
There was when we heard that they were closing, it didn't dawn on us that Scappoose Bay was the next adventure. We've been there so many times, rented from them so many times. Never really did a lot of advertising about Scappoose Bay. And so it was a Saturday morning, it dawned on me and I said, we can't lose it. We have to go find out what they're going to do. We went down asked if they knew what was going on. Jesse, one of the assistant managers, he wasn't sure. They were hopeful. And so I got a card. It said info at Next Adventure, which I thought that would go nowhere, especially since they're closing and doing a big sale. So I figured Deke at Next Adventure would probably be his email. Sent it off, and within that day, we were on a conversation with Deke, sharing our passion for the fact that I was leaving my career, that we were planning to start a business in Columbia County. And this really lined up with what we were doing. And so we've been working diligently with them since. So,
And are you planning to keep all the employees? Is that part of the business plan?
well, most of the employees are seasonal.
Okay,
There is one, the assistant manager, Jesse, that we want to keep.
okay,
He was really important for me, for that he's part of it, his knowledge of Scappoose Bay and of the whole operations. Their current manager is leaving. She's been there since she's 17 and she's been there 8 years. So she's looking for new opportunities, but I've been working with her as well. She would be, I guess you would say, a consultant for me, because she is definitely knows that place well. And there were a lot of ideas and things that they wanted to do out there to really, serve all the community that comes out there, that they never really did because they didn't have the focus. Deke and them were in Portland and didn't get as much time. So there's a whole lot that we're looking at, low hanging fruit too, that will really kind of help drive some revenue for us and help for the port. So she'll still be somewhat involved. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for the update.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
thank you so much and good luck.
Oh, and just a point for you that typically that our leases would require, in order for it to be assigned to you, it would require the written consent of the board to do that.
Yeah,
So just keep that in mind.
I believe we talked with Amy about that as well. So yeah, thank you. Good. Appreciate it.
Okay, next up is Jan.
Sean, do you wanna, can we jump to your update too? And
Oh, we can wait for that. Yeah, we can wait.
If you wish, yep, no worries, that's fine. Okay, on to old business.
It looks like we have one commenter online. Brady Freeheim has his hand raised.
Okay, Brady, go ahead.
Whoa. So I'm
I
calling
think you're
about
still muted,
the,
maybe.
hopefully you can hear me.
Brady, can you hear us?
Pardon? You can hear me?
Give him just a second here. He might be trying to figure out his mic.
Can you not hear me?
I can hear Brady on the Zoom.
Yeah. Okay. I heard that, whoever said that. So
Brady, this is Commissioner
Happens to pop
Fawcett.
back on.
Check the audio.
I
make
think the
sure that
audio
it's
is
set for
not
TV.
working.
yeah, because the.
can you tell them that you can hear me? What should I call in?
I can hear a tiny.
Let me see about
start
getting
up.
the audio fixed, Brady. I'm going to text Sean real quick.
There you go.
Okay.
There we are.
Brady,
Got you, Brady.
Hear you now, Brady. Go
You
ahead.
can hear me now? Okay, good. Thank you. At any rate, number one, I was great to hear the paddle thing. I didn't expect to comment on that. I really hope that happens. I think that is a great asset. I also wanted to yell a little bit about Chip because I think you have shirked your responsibilities. You should be president. And you had your excuses before, and it's like, dude, time to step up. Hopefully next year you will do it because your time's up. The final comment is the port of evil is once more being the port of evil. And you can, do 25 things right and one thing's wrong, and people are not going to talk about the things that you did well. You're going to talk about the thing you did wrong. And in particular, I'm speaking about the appointment of Paul Vogel to your airport advisory committee. The first thing that I would notice is that you have blocked out his address. And I don't mind you blocking out his address, but you've also blocked out his city and state, which I would assume means because he doesn't live within our community. And your application specifically says must be a resident of the Port District. Now, I don't know that I even personally agree with that policy, but that is your policy. You have said it. I do think that you could change that policy, not for this particular applicant, to say, have an interest in the airport, but you don't get to change it retroactively when that's your policy and it's stated right on the application. So unless Mr. Paul Vogel has moved here to this community, which I don't believe he has, he is not eligible to serve on that committee. Doesn't mention the fact that he actually knows nothing about the airport and has no business being on the advisory committee. That's sort of secondary. You should have somebody that has a business interest in the airport for that committee, and that is not Mr. Vogel, who's, nobody wants to say it, but frankly, I think he is the most useless, highest paid employee in the county, because I don't see that he does anything. Frankly, his function is what your function is, and I think that whole department should be disbanded, disregardless of his own issues. That's the job of the port. We don't need a separate county organization to do it. And but I would say that he does not need, he's your competitor in addition, and he doesn't need to be on your advisory committee. Pick somebody that lives in our community, works out there, and has an interest.
Brady, you'll be happy to hear he revoked his application.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that.
Wanted to let you know. That was our, I don't know if you caught it, that was on the additions to our agenda, and
I didn't hear that.
Oops, apologies on that. Yeah, he revoked his application, but I duly noted on policy on being from out of town and not being within the port district there.
Actually, that's incorrect. Our port policy number 12 does allow out of county residents when deemed appropriate by the Port Commission.
Understood.
Well, your application says right on it, must be a resident.
We will definitely look at that.
If you read your application, it says right on the application. Right underneath the address line. So that seems pretty clear. So if that's your policy, then it shouldn't say that on your application.
Excellent. And we will definitely pressure Chip into taking this role soon. I'm working on it.
Thanks.
Okay. Is there anybody else online?
No.
That was it.
Not sure we rose to the level of evil on that one.
So no other public comment we can see there? Okay.
I have something. Hey, this is Jasmine Lilick. Hi, everybody. Can I make a public comment real quick?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just, your new agricultural lease with Coleman, I just noticed that he sprayed pretty heavily across from Poiski's this year. And I just don't know what the policies are around that and notifying neighbors. And Poiski's blueberry patch is, an organic you-pick blueberry patch. And I'm not looking for any answers today or anything, but I just wanted to raise it to your attention that he drone sprayed and he wasn't necessarily clear with Karen Poisky about, what crops he's growing, what's going in, and just not necessarily too friendly of neighborly behavior for a 60-year-old organic blueberry patch that's been a staple in the community for a long time. So yeah, just wanted to bring it to your attention. And when we invite new agriculture activities out into the dike lands, there's an ecosystem that's happening out there with people that have been staples in the community for a long time. And yeah, just wanted to bring it to your attention. Thanks, everyone. Good to see you today.
Did you know that?
He did it by drone, but he's allowed to buy pesticides within limits. And he's not the only one who's using pesticides. It's illegally as well.
Every farmer is responsible for keeping the materials they use on their property. Right.
Well, that's my only concern. Is if it's done by drone, how do you keep it on your property?
Actually, drones can be sometimes, they can be right over the crop and very low, rather than being sprayed aerially with an aircraft spray, or in some of the other kinds of spray technologies that are out there that are used. So actually the drones can be better at putting it right where it's supposed to be.
We'll certainly have a look into that and make sure.
Yeah, and I'm also just speaking on behalf of Karen Poisky, who is just a little, she's old and she was a little rattled by it. So, but thanks.
Me often. I would have thought I would have heard from her because we chat. So I'll call her.
Oh, good. Okay, good.
Thank you, Jasmine.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment? No one's hands up there. Okay, no one else in the room. Okay, Marina update.
We have no Marina update other than further down, you'll see, we'll talk a little bit about the strategic planning.
Excellent. Okay, airport update. Okay, Lignetics neighbor update.
Come on up, Jan. We had the community meeting on Tuesday, the 29th over at the Oklahoma City Community Hall. And unfortunately, Ms. Schollenberger was unable to attend.
She's back from the dead.
She's back.
Yay.
I will say that there, I don't know what, 15 to 18 residents that were there. A couple of folks were really hot about the dust and claiming that it had not improved. And we're, angling for the port and Lignetics to do something serious. Extreme, even in some cases, was one of the suggestions. And Kim Carver from the city, who's not here, was also there as well. And Steve Nelson got up, from the plant manager from Lignetics, got up and led the discussion mostly and talked about what they've done with the over $1 million investment with the new scrubber and the pipe. Still waiting to do the hammer mill upgrade. But yeah, there's a lot of talk about the dust still being there. Somebody had portrayed that, Jan, you thought that it actually had gotten a little bit better, but maybe it's going over the top of your house now then or something.
I would say this. I think that in our minds, we really thought like the improvements that were being made would make a big difference. And I would see that there's probably some boomerang effect that it didn't meet expectations, which, expectations are what everybody had in their own mind. Do I think it's degrees better? I do. I think that it just wasn't as much better as we thought it might be. I appreciate the fact that Lignetics has stepped up and done what they said they were going to do. That's great. I appreciate the support that you all have given and the attention you've given to it. I think our last hope is that the bag house, when the hammer mill and the new transformer and all that is set up, that again, by degrees, that will give us some more improvement. And so I think I'm really here to say, I'm sorry I missed the meeting. People do get frustrated. And if you think you heard at the meeting, I get it. Every time I'm out in the neighborhood, I am the point person for what's happening and why isn't it better, and look at my deck. And anyway, so I guess what I see is that one of the things that slows everything down is DEQ in finishing up their permitting process. And if I understand correctly from Steve, can't go forward with submitting all the stuff for the bag house, even if they get it approved in their budget, which they're working their budget, July, August timeframe is always the time for that. You can't go forward until DEQ finishes up approving what's been done. And they're notoriously slow. We all know that. So any pressure that can be brought to move them along so that we can go forward with the last thing. Because really, in my mind, the bag house hammer mill, that's it. I mean, if that doesn't bring us some, again, by degrees improvement, then it is what it is. I fully trust Steve that they're trying, a few times, the raw material's been outside, and obviously if there's wind and it's dry, if there's any raw material outside, it will become airborne. I will tell you too, that there is a lasting effect, because when there is that kind of thing and it's in the trees, then until you get a washing rain, it precipitates out of everything. It sticks to things. If I go out and prune a bush, it flies everywhere. So all that to say, I really am hopeful that the company approves it in the budget and we can get some sort of reasonable, timely response from DEQ to push through this last step. If we got 10–15% improvement from what's been done, if they will keep storing stuff inside like they're trying to do. And then we get this bag house, maybe we get 30–40%, and that's the best it ever is, but we need to push for that. That's all I got.
Well, we certainly missed you at the meeting. It's very nice to hear your reasonable voice, and I certainly do understand the frustration within the community. But acknowledging the money and investment and time and commitment that Lignetics has made, it was a disappointment that that wasn't acknowledged. So I really appreciate that, hearing that from you, Jan. That's really important.
Well, I want to be reasonable about this. I mean, it's, the plant is what it is. For the 4 or 5 years that, I've been moaning and groaning about this, we've had a response. So, yeah, you need to acknowledge that, and we just need to go a little further.
We're not done. So that's,
it does seem like Lignetics is the most responsible owner we could hope for to do, given who's been there before.
Oh,
The
absolutely.
best reseurces.
From previous ownerships, where we got really nothing.
And
They did step up, and, it's fair to acknowledge that.
Steve Nelson really cares too. He's a local person, so he wants to be a good neighbor.
Yeah, I think so too. So thank you for what you've done so far, and just got to get that last round gone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. New business. The resolution 225-20, Elliot.
Morning, Commissioners.
good morning.
If approved, Resolution 2025 will authorize the Executive Director to execute a 5-year agricultural lease with Columbia River Ranch. This lease covers 243 acres of land at Port Westward. And here you see a depiction of the 243 acres highlighted in turquoise. Columbia River Ranch originally leased this land to graze cattle in 2020.
so yeah. I think you shared your file explorer. You need to share that window there. There we go.
That one. Oh, that's the other one.
Is it up? Thank you. Columbia River Ranch originally leased this land to graze cattle in 2020 with the intention that the grazing cattle would limit the regrowth of the hybrid popular trees that had been harvested from the property before Columbia River Ranch original lease. Columbia River Ranch has been a reliable tenant over the past 5 years and has been responsive when we raised concerns about those areas of the property. Some trees had begun to regrow. The port would like to continue its relationship with Columbia River Ranch as we believe that they, along with our other agricultural tenants, form a nice mix which limits our exposure to a single tenant. We are also excited that Columbia River Ranch has added corn and is considering other crops in addition to grazing cattle at the site, as it will improve the utilization of the property, and we believe it will better control the trees than grazing cattle alone. The new lease we have negotiated increases rent from $30 per acre per year in the expired lease to $50 per acre per year, which escalates to $80 during the final year. Beyond the initial 5-year term, the lease allows up to 2 5-year renewals. For the above reasons, staff recommends approval of Resolution 2025-20. Do you have any questions?
Discussion?
How many head of cattle do they run?
I don't have a count of that.
It's not just on this property. They have a lot of other leases and.
There has cattle
Everything that they own. and-
I think they will graze them there, then move them and put it back on, depending on the.
But we don't know, we don't have an idea of how many and a normal.
If it's the gentleman I'm thinking of, I think he has a pretty fair amount of cattle.
It has hundreds.
Maybe.
He has properties all over, and he also has some permits with us as well.
Right.
At various rates, like, let me see if I have the exact acreage, but, he's got in the timber reservation. So if you see the trees at the bottom across, from the road there,
Okay,
the right-hand side, there's 2 parcels. To your right, those 2, top and down. Yeah, thank you, Sean. And then there's a narrow skinny one to the right that he also, pays, I believe that's $8 per month, but that's largely trees and meant to just keep some of the growth out. He also has a permit on the next site.
oh, okay,
And then to help us control grass on the Claxon Drainage District, he has a seasonal grazing that he'll do there. That I do have a count because he pays per head because it's just on and off, and sometimes he'll have up to maybe 20.
He also leases Karen Poisky's pasture. So he's all over out there.
interesting.
Is there any other discussion or questions?
I would move approval of resolution 2025-20.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Elizabeth.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The Port of Columbia County maintains a volunteer advisory committee for Scappoose Bay Marine Park. Advisory committees have the authority to recommend actions to the port and may not obligate the port in any way. Advisory committees have no legal authority, and therefore all their responsibilities are assigned at the discretion of the executive director, his designee, or by the Port Commission. Brandon Glass was appointed to the advisory committee in 2022, and his term expired on June 30th, 2025. Staff contacted Mr. Glass and he would like to continue. The advisory committee voted on the reappointment and the motion passed unanimously. Therefore, staff recommends the adoption of Resolution 2025-22, reappointing Brandon Glass to the Scappoose Bay Advisory Park Advisory Committee. Sorry, there's a lot of words in that. For a 3-year term from July 2022 to June 2028.
Okay. Discussion?
Move approval of resolution 2025-22.
Second.
All in favor?
Oh, yeah.
Aye.
All right.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
We miss a -21.
Oh, we have one, I think, paused right now.
Okay.
I think we're.
I don't think I missed. Okay. Lacey?
Good morning. I have 2 resolutions for your consideration. First being Resolution 2025-23, the runway rehabilitation Phase 3 construction project. We're awaiting the grant agreement from the FAA. The FAA has changed their process this year, requiring a 48-hour turnaround.
Once they send the grant agreement to us, we have 48 hours to review, sign, and return it. We don't even receive the agreement until the clock already has started. We're asking commission to authorize Executive Director Sean Clark to review and sign the grant agreement on behalf of the commission after legal review of Port General Counsel, Mr. Salisbury. This is the one way where you can meet their deadline and secure the funds without scrambling and calling a last minute meeting, a special meeting. I know that we have the funds or the breakdown of costs, but the project total is $4,043,703. The FAA is providing 94.99%, 95% at $3,841,515. And so I'm asking for approval of resolution 2025-23, giving Sean, Executive Director Sean Clark, approval to sign within that 48-hour window.
Sounds very reasonable.
Discussion on it, or? We have a motion?
Discussion. I do believe we should send them a letter on our letterhead that it's not really feasible for us to have to decide on millions of dollars within 48 hours. That we're a local government, it needs to be approved by a commission, that kind of thing. Just so the FAA knows that's not okay.
But I really don't understand how, as a government agency, they don't realize that.
We can't be the only ones.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not. I just thought it would be important to get ahead of it instead of scrambling last minute. So that's why I brought it to you today. Normally, we would get the grant agreement.
Right.
And then, but I did send you a draft agreement as well. It was attached that they sent me. So.
Yeah, it's not our process. Our process, I think, is obviously well thought out, but their process seems very unreasonable and also hard to understand as a government agency why they would even require it. So I certainly agree that that should be included.
My preference would be one of our trade associations write the letter. Let's get the $4 million.
Oh, yeah, this would be after the fact.
Maybe you're,
Probably a good idea. I was thinking that, I didn't want to say it, so.
Airport Managers Association,
Oh, yeah.
maybe. Yeah.
So
Because like you say, we're not the only ones
No, we are not.
are dealing with this.
Owama, is that what it is?
Oh, wow.
okay, do we have a motion for approval?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I know there's kind of two of them here.
There's the East Side Pavement Maintenance Design Phase, the acceptance of that grant agreement.
Okay, and do we need any discussion on that, or can we?
I would move approval. 2025-24, East Side Airport Phase 1 design to be reviewed and approved by our executive director.
Okay, a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Okay, Sean.
All right. Thank you, commissioners. We have a couple slides up there just to follow up with some interest the commission had on knowing what our outreach plan is for the upcoming year. I will say that I do have this heavily draft form just because on August 25th, our new communications and grants manager starts, Ms. Lindsay Wilson. She is on the call, but she cannot speak to us. But anyway, we're looking forward to her starting in a couple weeks and getting moving on several things, but getting her input on the outreach plan that Amy and I have kind of drafted up here. So current stuff we're doing, as you know, we're doing the monthly spotlight article. We have had a 2-month pause on that since Gina's departure, and Bob helped craft something here for this coming month's August news article for the spotlight. We have been doing social media posts, either LinkedIn and or Facebook. Sometimes it's, sharing meeting notices and things like that, but I really want to see us kind of step those up a little bit, even if they're just interest pieces or nature or just different things. Ideally, we're driving some more traffic to the social media stuff. And we'll continue with the community updates to the different city councils. I'll be calling us the three-headed monster with Amy, myself and Lindsay heading around. And we also have folks that are already, ingrained in Rotary and boosters and Kiwanis that are representing us, Elliot and Lacey and others are Bob on the St. Helen or the Rotary in St. Helens. And so we have some good exposure there, but it'd be nice to get in front of the councils and give them a port update. And do that on a regular rotation. So you'll see some more of that this year. And obviously I'll give you guys that schedule. It'd be nice to have commission support when and if you're able to go to those. And if you go to the next slide. So I meant to put a question mark.
We're way behind on this. It's not even showing the slideshow yet on Zoom.
Oh, interesting.
And of course, it's still on the first slide.
Get the first slide. Got a little lag there. Well, hopefully they're keeping up with. I'm not talking too fast. The port compass. So we have not issued one this year. Last year, you may recall, we did something different. We spent extra money because we were no longer getting stuffed into the local papers. It wasn't part of the deal anymore because some of the papers went away. We direct mailed, and my feedback, I was hoping to get a little more feedback on, because we spent about $15,000 to do that. That's a little more than we'd spent before, but we thought we might get a little better bang for our buck going right into somebody's mailbox. And I will say, I just got Port of Calamus the other day and I read it cover to cover, but I'm a port guy, so I would do that. And I'm on their list because I was used to work there, but I'm just curious if the commission is in favor of us continuing the compass as a direct mail. Maybe if that was 15,000 for one issue, if we wanted to do 2 issues a year, we'd probably want to maybe think about how we did that. But yeah, that hit most every house in the port apparently. So that 15 grand.
I too read the Kalama one because it's a well-done newsletter and it's across from us, so I like it.
I'm in favor of it. I do like it. I don't know about twice a year, but at least once, so that we kind of know what's going on and I don't know, I'd like feedback from the staff to see if you think once is sufficient. I mean, I don't really have an opinion one way or another on that, but something, notifying public on what's going on and.
Yeah. A lot of the Marina work would be.
Yeah, that would
have in there.
I was gonna say, I'm in favor of the print one, but I also know that I'm part of the generation that was like paper. A lot of people, one thing we haven't done is use the email list. Over the years, we've collected email addresses from folks, and that'd be a nice way to blast that out as well. It's just over email in addition to print.
I think even a younger generation could appreciate, especially once a year, somebody's gonna look at that. I feel like, I don't know what you guys, what your guys' feeling is on it, but.
Keep it?
Yeah.
All right. Brian, you good with keeping it?
Yeah.
Got consensus here.
Yes, absolutely.
Hey, Brian, are you able to see the screen from where you're at?
I can just see PowerPoint with the outreach current slide. It's not it's like it's not the actual slideshow.
Okay.
Is it the monthly spotlight?
You see port compass, or do you see 3 items listed?
I see the 3 items with the check boxes next to them listed.
What I'm saying.
Okay.
I will, while I'm talking about that, I was going to maybe add the Chambers of Commerce to the community updates section. Might be a good thing.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yep.
Well, if we'll go on to the next slide, and I'll be reading the slide for the folks that are online. So some ideas for the year ahead, and I'll obviously get with the new person, and Amy and I will meet with them to talk about some things that they want to do. But one of the things we want to find out is the extent of lobbying efforts in Salem. We'll work with Mark Landauer, the OPPA lobbyist and executive director, and find out how to inject a little better, more effectively there. If he has some ideas on if we have any topics that we might want to have a lobbyist, do we engage a lobbyist? Do we try to do that lobbying ourselves, with some of the different representatives? So hopefully Lindsay will have some ideas on that, and Amy and I can do some of that, a little more Salem presence. We were approached by Kohai about doing a weekly show after I appeared on the show. And, but Marty did also say that we could submit a program if we chose to. So I've been itching to check out the PCC audio lab, and we could actually probably pitch a pretty decent program that gets some good information out there for folks, and maybe do like a faux Q&A kind of thing, you know, where we set some things up and either have a commissioner, you know, present with staff. And yeah, I got some ideas around that. And we can also, you know, we can also put that out on the streaming services. And we have the Port YouTube. Currently you can see our commission meetings there. We may want to try to exploit that a little more to talk about what we're doing in the Port District. And just, if you've been on YouTube recently, they're trying to be a social media platform with shorts and things like that. We could utilize some of the shorts and also use them as a reel.
She has one. She has one on the tubes.
Oh,
Lacey.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we have a video of the airport on YouTube. So yeah, if you go to our Port YouTube channel, you'll see a few things, and we'll, like I said, I think I may like to highlight some managers or a commissioner that's out at a site and maybe talking about a site, you know, briefly, just a 30, 60-second blurb on what we do at this site and who the tenant is and some of that stuff. Yeah, it might be an easy way to do a little guerrilla marketing. So that stuff lives forever, as we know. So we'll be careful. Next slide, please. Trying to keep within the slide count. I think we're still down below 5, Robert. So that's it. And look at that beautiful picture.
That's a gorgeous picture.
That's our marina. Credit unknown at this point.
Really?
We're not sure. Somebody found that on the drive, so somebody took it.
Wow.
We like it. All right. Any questions? Actually, thoughts, ideas, more things you want me to do? Please let me know.
Use that picture a few more times.
Put that in more slideshows.
I've totally taken credit for that. I was down there last week, yeah. That's gonna roll us right into your kind of, if that was your executive director, if there's your report there.
Marina work session planning.
Yeah, so thank you. Commissioners, I've been struggling a little bit with this, with the timing. I really appreciate if we could punt this into September, mainly due to the fact we went down there, did some reconnaissance, Amy and I and Bob, kind of looking at where we could do a meeting. Next Adventure is still pretty active there in their garage area. They'd offered that area up, and it just, we were trying to picture that. And we went over to the gazebo, and I think for this meeting, we're really going to want to take these folks that we've picked to be on this committee with us, the strategic planning committee. We want to take them through that slideshow that BST gave us, right? We want to make sure they have the whole picture. So we're trying to figure out how and being able to do that at the marina, but not impossible. We could do it. And also, you know, we'd like to couple it with, come down at maybe 4 and we can do some marina walk, go out on some kayaks potentially, and then try to get back and do the work session at 6 and have that strategic planning committee there and talk about the BST report. If you're agreeable to it, also, I'd really like the help of the new person, Lindsay, when she starts to help with some of this. It doesn't have to be on the second, work session date. We could pick a date in September after the commission meeting and try to do it then. Just trying to get it by less than 2 weeks. It's going to be challenging with the tech.
Do we have, considering the logistics problem, why even have it at the marina? Why not, if we're doing a PowerPoint, and why not just do it here? Wouldn't that be much more efficient?
I agree.
It's up to you guys. We'll still definitely offer up walkabouts on the marina.
Sure.
Certainly meet there and have a look around for a little while, and then I know it's kind of a pain in the butt, but I mean, if you're gonna have PowerPoint, you're gonna have to have it.
Yes.
Unless it's.
And if you have a meeting that divides between one location and another, you're gonna lose people. to me, it's like those should be two separate things rather than trying to combine those together, in my opinion.
Yeah. Are you guys okay with picking a date in September then, or do you want to stick with the second work session date in September?
I'm gonna wait it to a date.
That would be the 24th of September. It's the Wednesday night thing.
This is Brian. I'm out of town at a work conference that whole week, so I wouldn't be able to attend if it was on the 24th.
I'll have to look at a calendar at home, but to my knowledge, I'm available.
Again, just, we could do it. We could pick a week where we could all be there, and I'll reach out to all of you. How about that for a September date after the commission meeting?
It does seem like we need to get this done.
Yeah.
And yeah, it needs to be done.
And you can see we've got some things to start with, and it'd be just nice to get the committee together and see what kind of meeting frequency we can come up with and hit it hard then. So thank you. Does this look agreeable to you as far as what we've developed as far as a strategy goes with the bullets there? And is that online now? Is that what they're seeing? Okay.
Yeah, they don't see slideshow.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks.
We have the strategic planning committee. We have selected the folks. We have about, I think, 11 people. Maria's not here right now. Some from the advisory committee and others from the community members. So,
John, I'm not sure if this is in the order of which you would want to do things, but I do wonder if it would be beneficial to swap 2 and 3 so that we're collecting input from tenants and users before we develop a strategy.
yes, yeah, those are not in the right order for sure.
Okay.
Thank you, Brian.
Yep.
Okay, we'll pursue another meeting in September and hit it hard.
Yep.
You're a popular guy. You got 3 in a row here.
Report. Thank you. Oh, yep, sorry, she's gone. You can see the calendar there. I apologize on the department reports. I was leaving last Wednesday to be off Thursday and Friday, and this was in my draft. I apologize for that. But what you see there is the schedule coming up, and things that jump out there. We're going to be hitting the Port Infrastructure Development Program grant application really hard. We're going to be sending out letters of support, requests for letters of support on that. And that's due in September, right?
Application itself is September 10th.
September 10th, that is due. And that is for, just to remind everybody, the seismic retrofitting of Beaver Dock. So working with the same consultant on that, that's been very helpful, putting together a grant application. Let's see if you have the schedule there. If you have any questions, I can let you know. We will be closed on Monday the 1st for Labor Day. And I'm thinking of another one here that I want to make sure you knew about. Yesterday, I wanted to let you know that I was invited to meet at the Port of Portland with Representative Bonamici to discuss port infrastructure needs. So it was myself, Port of Portland Executive Director, Astoria's Executive Director, and a representative from Port of Vancouver in attendance, and then her staff. And it was very interesting. We talked a lot about the navigation channel and maintaining that, the Columbia River Treaty, and how the focus needs, we need to keep Canada happy so they control our water levels and not leave us high and dry down here. But also just the amount of infrastructure that ports all have that we are dealing with, up to and including dredging. Talked about the Port Infrastructure Development Grant Program and how crucial that is for ports because that's really MARAD, that's kind of our main source of funding is through these grants. And Vancouver's also putting in for a PIDP grant. So we'll be competing with our friends on the river. But we like to say it's a friendly competition and we're all doing really good things. And the best application win, I guess. So.
But that's ours.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, we're getting that one. So that'll be a lot of focus over the next several weeks as we try to wrap that up and put it together and seek our letters of support from everyone. So stay tuned. Any questions on the schedule? All right, and if you guys read through the department reports and have any questions, please reach out.
Thank you.
Happy to answer.
Okay. Commissioner reports. Commissioner Fawcett, you like to go first?
Sure. Yeah, attended the Lignetics community meeting. That was interesting. Definitely some very strong opinions and feedback there. Appreciated Jan's comments this morning as well. Handful of other things, but nothing too exciting. So just appreciate all the work staff's doing. I really appreciate the outreach plan, Sean and staff, and look forward to meeting. I think it was Lindsay.
Yes.
Yeah. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Commissioner Ward.
Yes, I also attended the Lignetics meeting, and it was it was very interesting because I was walking in thinking I was going to hear lots of good comments, and the absolute opposite was true. And the frustration felt by the members of the community here in Columbia City is really to the breaking point as far as I could discern. And obviously, Lignetics is not at fault in trying to resolve the problem. But it concerns me that what has been done so far has resulted in very, very small improvements, according to people from the community. And we're hopefully looking at other ways that we may collect information, because we really don't know how all of this flow is moving. We had people from up on the hill saying they too are being affected by the sawdust. So this is definitely come to a peak. This has to be resolved, and we are responsible. It is us who are responsible. And whatever steps we need to take that we haven't taken, I hope that we will start considering. So I'm looking forward to seeing the serious effort to resolve this problem once and for all. And it has to be spearheaded by us, in my opinion. The other thing is we met with, Sean and I met with Abby Russell from Mall Foster. Abby's in charge of communication, and she shared with us some information about processes that we might be able to take advantage of that could help move us along in our environmental pursuits. And I know you're going to continue to work in that direction with Abby and the people from Mall Foster, and really looking forward to hearing how that transpires.
I don't have any comments. Commissioner Bugle, okay, no, nothing to comment. Commissioner Kaiser?
I was just gonna comment on how well the process has worked, I thought, with Lignetics support and the neighborhoods. At the risk of having them all hate me, I live next to a sawmill, and I mean, there is going to be some dust. I mean, you live on the river and all. I hope that the bag plant and all that does a lot to improve it, and nobody wants to see that, but it may be some of it is even related to that facility. I don't know. It's windy here in the summer. So I just hope for the best. It's disappointing to hear that it wasn't acknowledgement of the progress that's been made, but maybe when it all comes together.
Well, it wasn't that they weren't acknowledging something that was there. The problem is it wasn't there. The improvement was not visible enough to make a difference where people feel like they can go outside and enjoy their backyards in the summertime. That's a tough one to argue about with people. That is something all of us would want or expect to have in our communities.
That's all I have.
Looks like I'm up here. I'm excited for our new tenants, an expansion of current ones, and that's all great news, and appreciate all the port staff helping out with that. And that's all I have to report. Okay.
Zach Sash.
Zach, Bob,
Would you like me to read the script?
please do that.
Port of Columbia County will now meet in executive session pursuant to ORS 192-60, subsection 2F, to consider exempt public records, including written advice, privilege and exempt from disclosure. And H, to consult with legal counsel regarding rights and duties related to current litigation or litigation likely to be filed. Representatives of the news media and designated staff are allowed to attend. Representatives of the news media are specifically directed not to report on any of the discussions or deliberations during this or any executive session. Court Commission will return to open session after the executive session and will announce any decisions that are the result of the discussions. We do not expect to announce any decisions today. Any persons excluded from executive session are welcome to return to open session when it is resumed. Thank you.
You want to put this in your baby book?
We back? Okay, we're back.
Okay. Meeting is adjourned.